Hi everybody, welcome back to part 2. We're talking about working with an appraiser and the scenario is death. If you don't know, I'm Genice Lee. I'm a decorative arts and residential contents appraiser, and I'm going to be continuing with that scenario that I mentioned. Yep, that's right, I said death. A lot of people don't like to think about death, but just as we all live, we're all gonna die. So if you did not see part 1, go back and take a look at part 1. I kind of set the stage of why in a death situation that you may need the services of an appraiser. So we're going to continue today with part 2. We're going to talk about when I get the phone call. When I get the phone call from a potential client who gives me a call and says, hey, I am the one who's been elected to be the executor for an estate. My first question typically is going to be, when is the appraisal report due to the courts? In the state of Maryland, you're going to be working with the Office of the Wills or perhaps an attorney, but still there is going to be a due date for that report. And so to help establish a timeline and make sure that I am able to help you get your fiduciary responsibilities fulfilled as that executor and that you meet deadlines, I need to know when the report is due. You typically will have a certain amount of time to get the appraisal report compiled along with some other paperwork. And again, that would be a discussion that you would have at the Office of Wills to ask the questions or perhaps with an attorney as to the details of that paperwork. But for the purposes of this discussion, as the appraiser, I need to know when the appraisal is due to the courts. Sometimes people will call me 3 days before they need to submit the report to court, or perhaps a week. And that does present a problem because when I get a phone call from a potential client, I am already working on projects from other clients. And so you would have to be put into a queue. It's not that I'm going to drop everything that I'm doing and work on your appraisal. No, it doesn't work that way. And so you do need to make sure that you read through the paperwork to understand the due date so that when you contact an appraiser, that appraiser is able to meet your turnaround time sufficiently. If you don't have enough time, you're probably going to have to get an extension, and that's not something that's too difficult to do. But if you've run out of time and unfortunately waited to the last minute, I typically will advise the client to request an extension from the court.